Welcome back to Ledger Prime, guys. Today we are looking at Quant. Guys, Quant is currently holding a razor thin line right at 75 bucks, while the Fear and Greed Index just tanked to 20, which means extreme fear. Guys, today in this video we are going to be breaking down the new institutional production phase launch, our bear, base, and bull targets that have been updated after all the events that happened in January, and the one on-chain metric proving whales aren't selling this dip. So first, let's dive into the charts and see what's going on. All right, guys, if we take a look at the chart, we can see today, which is January 27th, Quant is currently trading right around that $74 level. We dipped below the $75 psychological support, right? You hate to say it, but psychology is a big thing, especially when trading crypto. We're also still trying to recover from the $700 million liquidation event. That is right around here when Trump was going off about tariffs on the EU, the Greenland thing. We went down, we came back up, and it looks like we went back down again. So if we look at the chart, right, we see right here, on the low end, we have to watch the 68, whatever this is, 68, 67, 23, right these low candles, boom, 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 right? We came down, tested it, went up, tested it, went up, tested it, went up. Keep an eye on that. If we dip below around this 67.97, even down 60, what is the low? What is the price of this candle? 66.98. Okay, we're in trouble. Okay, it's down from there. However, it looks like that's been pretty solid support, at least dating back back a few weeks, even a few months here. And then these Fibonacci lines, guys, right? We just went from these significant lows right back to the most recent high of 107. And we can see that at least short term, look at this. Look at this candle right here. Mwah! Kissed it. It kissed the 50% retracement right on the nuts. So these, at least short term, these are important Fibonacci levels that we need to watch. So right now we're in the zone. We're in the zone between the 0, which is this low, and right here at the 0.786 retracement, which is about 76.89, 77 bucks, let's say. So if we come up and we kiss around 77 and can't break through, we're going to be in this zone, which is 68 to 77, this gray zone right here. If we can break through, right, the next two areas of resistance are going to be 83 and 88. If we can break 88, it's almost a straight shot up, back up to the short-term high, which is that 107. All right, so what's been in the news lately that's going to related to Quant, and that's going to affect it. So number one here, Overledger Fusion, right, went from pilot to production in January 2026. Quant officially moved into its production phase. So unlike the hype cycles of 2021, the Overledger Fusion Mainnet is now live for institutional cross-chain settlements. So this requires banks to purchase Quant for licensing, creating the first wave of non-speculative structural demand. Guys, going from pilot to production is a big deal. Quant is moving in the right direction. Requiring banks to purchase Quant for licensing makes the token, it's needed, it's required. That's one of the things we don't see with like XRP. You don't need the token. In this case, if they want to use Quant, they need to use QNT token in order to use it. So that's a big deal. Overledger going live is huge. Number two, okay, the UK GBTD milestone. What is GBTD? That is Global Banking Tokenized Deposit. So Quant's work on the Global Banking Tokenized Deposit with major UK institutions has reached a critical inflection point. So as of this month, which is January 26, the shift from experimental pilots to regulated digital sterling is moving into the implementation phase. So Quant is acting as the interoperability bridge here, making it a cornerstone of the UK's digital finance strategy. So that was a big story. This is the stuff that kind of goes unnoticed, not talked about because it's not sexy, but this is the stuff that makes the QNT token needed, required, right? Scarcity. When big institutions are using Quant and you need the Quant token to work on the network, it's stories like Global Banking Tokenization Deposit out in the UK that put pressure on the price, not pressure, but it puts pressure on the supply and makes the price go up. So this is another thing when we say we got to watch the news, this is the type of story we're looking for. And the third story that was very significant in January, Treasury as a Service and Staking Quant recently unveiled its Treasury as a Service model for group treasuries. So alongside the Trusted Node program, this will allow entities to lock Quant to secure their own private network of networks. So with a circulating supply of only 14.5 million, right? Remember, we talked about this. Quant has a low supply. Every node launch effectively removes Quant from the open market, which will tighten the liquidity noose. So guys, what is the 12-month price outlook now that January 2026 is basically in the books? Our bear case, we're looking at 45 to 55 bucks. This would be a prolonged risk-off macro environment where Bitcoin fails to hold 85K, dragging utility tokens back down to the 2024 accumulation lows. Guys, this just means all of crypto suffers. Okay. Base case, successful integration of the Overledger Fusion Mainnet and consistent enterprise licensing fees drive organic buy pressure. What does that mean? It means the Overledger Fusion goes good, and people need to buy Quant in order to use it. The case for that, we could see $110 to $145 if everything goes good. And the bull case, 350 to 450. Guys, this is highly optimistic. This would need not just good news for Quant, but good news for crypto as a whole. Maybe the Clarity Act, all bunch of things would have to come into play. But the supply shock scenario, a combination of the Trusted Node program locking up supply and a formal production announcement for the digital euro or the UK GBTD project, and a favorable political and regulatory environment would send Quant up into that $350 to $450 range. So in closing, guys, Quant is currently being tested by a fearful market. Everybody's scared. We've seen the price of gold. We've seen the price of silver. But it's the institutional foundation, right? The institutional foundation of Quant has never been more solid, in my opinion. You know, this is not about Quant to the moon anymore. It is about being the plumbing for the world's digital money. Guys, is the $73 dip the ultimate entry? Or do you see us hitting 45 bucks before this bear market's over? Comment your 2026 price target below. I will read and reply to every single one of them. Again, this is Luke with Ledger Prime. We'll see you in the next one.